Good morning. Today we are interviewing Duncan Campbell with the Boys and Girls Club of Chaffee County. Good morning, Duncan. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Thank you so much for joining me on Keeping It Local. I'm so excited to talk with you about what the Boys and Girls Club of Chaffee County has been up to during this time.
You bet. So I'm Duncan Campbell, and I'm currently the board chair for the Chaffee County Boys and Girls Club. So that's both for Salida and BV. I've been on the board for about 4 years, and I recently retired from Hewlett Packard, and this was a great way to start giving back to the community.
Let's talk about a little bit about the history of the Boys and Girls Club and what it represents.
Yeah, you bet. So the Boys and Girls Club in Salida actually opened up in 2005, but it's a nonprofit youth development organization. And the mission is really to inspire and to enable all young people, especially those who need us the most, to realize their full potential as caring, productive, responsible citizens. What we have been striving to do is to have the Boys and Girls Club to be the premier youth development organization in the county. And so we're really aiming to change the trajectory of kids' lives. And we do that in three very key ways. One is academic success, good character and citizenship, and healthy lifestyles. So those are kind of the three pillars that really have been fundamental for us providing that impact.
Let's talk about how many kids that are affected by this program so our community knows what some of their donations are helping these kids do and how many kids it's affecting.
Yeah, so it's pretty impressive. We actually touch one out of every 3 kids in the county, school-age kids in Chaffee County. So they're directly benefiting from the Boys and Girls Club programming. And so what that means in terms of actual sheer numbers in 1 year is over 800 kids. So wow.
Wow. And what is the age group that really truly is affecting?
Yeah, so that's typically 6 to 18.
6 to
And
8.
one of the things that we find is when you get a good teen program, that actually even is great because then they start giving back. And that truly makes those Boys and Girls Clubs that much more of a high performing and makes them awesome.
Yeah, I'm real curious. My daughter was a kid there for many, many years. And I would say maybe came the high school years, she stopped attending as a kid of the program, but started working there every summer.
We have about a dozen that do that. And what's so cool about that is when we talk about youth development, then all of a sudden they're in that leadership position. Yeah. And so they put into practice those type of skills. They're giving back. And as you know, when you give, guess what? You get a lot more coming back to you in terms of love and development.
One of the other things that's been really important during this whole COVID-19, I know there's a lot of kids that have been receiving lunches from the Boys and Girls Club program. Let's talk about, is that still currently happening and how that kind of all developed and came together? I'm real interested in hearing about that.
Yeah, so when the virus was really starting to impact the community, David Blackburn actually reached out to Brian and said, can you help us out here a little bit? And so what we did is worked with the school district to really provide a facility where we could start then to hand out those lunches to kids. So when in the past during the school year, they were getting lunch. And so here are kids now in need of sustenance, protein, and healthy lifestyles. We provided that facility. So we worked with the school, in that inception of the program. Now, since then, the school has actually gotten their facilities all ready to go, and they've taken that back over. But again, part of this is the partnership that we want to have with the school districts, both here in Salida. That's so critical.
What a blessing that's been for so many parents, kids, and the community in general. That's wonderful. The biggest thing that a lot of people might not know that's important to talk about is this location change that happened just prior to this whole shutdown that we had. I'd like to hear about the address as well as what the differences are and how exciting that might be for the kids that once we open back up, what that's going to look like for them.
Yeah. So what we were able to do is actually, we had been in a sharing space in St. Joseph's Church in Salida for a number of years. And so for the Salida Club, we actually were able to purchase the older previous Exerflex building. And
Right.
it's an older gym and it's just perfect. I mean, the kid has the space. And so it's a new address. It's on Palmer Street, a couple blocks off 50, but it's in a fairly safe area, and it's been just phenomenal. So I think that the key thing for kids is they have a home now.
Yeah, permanent.
And then that just really is very meaningful. The space it's phenomenal. So
So let's talk about a little bit about what the phase 1 opening is going to look like in the remote programs, what you guys have been doing in the meantime.
Yeah, so it's been something where the staff has been very creative, and so they were, they want to actually reach out to the kids during this time. So they've been able to actually, reach out with phone calls with permission from the parents. They have the I miss you program, so they all kind of got letters. So, we're really trying to be creative in terms of how to reach out until we get to the point in working with Andrea Carlson and Chaffee County Health in terms of how best and when to open.
Thank you so much, Duncan, for your time today. It's been a pleasure to interview. Thank you so much for keeping it local, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.